The biggest reason to update to firmware 3.7 on the Helix is the feedbacker effect. Helix users can move blocks around over 2 signal paths to accommodate this DSP-hungry effect, but this is not possible with HX Stomp users and 1 signal path. Can we get a fully featured amp and tone processing preset on the HX Stomp, or are we destined to have a very handicapped preset? I tried this. Is that decent enough for the Sunday service? Watch on and I'll share 2 strategies to accommodate the feedbacker on the HX Stomp and how to get this tone. Since most of the requests that have been coming my way have been about implementing the HX Stomp primarily for dual amps and cabs, this is the setup that we'll be addressing. For the sake of demonstration, we'll be using this HX Stomp and Plethora X5 pedal board. Number 1, consider low DSP amps. A big part of the worship sound is the blending of 2 amps in stereo, mostly a Vox style and a Fender style amp panned hard left and right for a huge stereo sound. The problem is that with the feedbacker in the signal path, those amp choices will lead to a very limited signal chain. Let's see what happens when we try the conventional amp choices. Let's say we go with the AC30. Let's go with a simple double norm here. Gonna add in a dual cab. Doesn't really matter what it is because the DSP usage is the same. Add the feedbacker. And now that you can see that the feedbacker is in the signal path with a conventional 2 amp setup with dual cabs, there's very little DSP left for overdrives. You can't even put a reverb on, and you can't even have even less stereo delay choices. Here's where we need to make a choice to consider using lower DSP amps but pairing them with the usual cabs. Since cabs and mic placement account for a big part of the tone, as long as we can tweak the non-Vox and Fender amps to achieve the tonal results we want, I think there's credit to building an atypical dual amp setup. For this preset, I went with the lowest DSP amps I could find, the Litigator and the Suit Pro, but I'm going to pair them with the 1x12 Bluebell and the 1x12 Princess cabs respectively. So let's change this to the Litigator, and I'll change this to the Suit Pro. 1x12 Bluebell and the 1x12 Princess. It's not bad, it's clean enough to be a pedal platform, but there's low energy and not enough excitement. This is where I'll apply something I learned from my friend Nigel from Worship Guitar Theory, using a pair of 421 mics and an N-chain LA2A compressor. The 421s were great for bringing out the energy, and the LA2A imparts tube-driven punch. So I'm going to add this in. Stereo LA Studio Comp, bring this down to 6 and 5. There's a final step to bring the tone up to the next level, but first, we need to talk about number 2, offloading tone processing. I want the amps to be reactive with excitement, and the way to do that is to drive the amp inputs with some clean compressor gain. With the Plethora X5, I have the hypergravity compressor, which I'll put at the front of the chain and load up Pete's Tone Enhancer, my favorite tone print, which takes 100% clean signal and adds sparkle. With the hypergravity, the amps, the cabs, the LE2A at the end, this is how the signal chain sounds like now. Now to add in some echo and reverb. Not exactly oozing with Vox chime, but it's a great sounding combination with plenty of power and punch. We now have some leftover DSP to fill in one or two more effects. This being a worship music preset, we have to try loading up a chorus. And let's go to modulation, stereo. Oh, it looks like we don't have the DSP for stereo chorus, but that's okay. We can load up a mono chorus and have it before the FX loop. And now for the control scheme. I've removed the tap tuner button on my HX Stomp as I use the Plethora X5 for its delay and reverb effects, as well as the tuner. This frees up FS3 on the HX Stomp. On FS2, I set up the feedbacker bypass, then use FS3 to change the feedback type from +2 octaves to unison. This gives me my full EBO sound. And there we have it, a fully featured dual amps and caps preset with a feedbacker effect and enough DSP to include a chorus and a gain block. If you like how this sounds, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. Thank you. You can get the Sunday ready version of this preset from my HX Stomp Worship Essentials pack on my Buy Me a Coffee page. Existing pack owners, check your folder links for a free update. And how about you? How are you incorporating the feedbacker effect into your HX Stomp setup? Are the compromises and amp choices too much for you to bear? Let me know in the comments. If you're wondering how to make use of the feedbacker effect in a worship music context, I've made a previous video that you can check out here where I cover performance tips on getting this effect to sound right. See you there.